Well, Zeina Jamaluddine is the lead author of the Lancet report on Gaza mortality. And she spoke to me earlier in the studio explaining the methodology behind their study and how they arrived at these devastating findings.
Our findings indicate that the numbers from October 7 till June actually were underreported by around 40%. That means at that point in June, the number that the ministry was reporting was around 37,000 that were killed. In fact, the reality based on the study is that the number is higher, and from October till June is around 64,000 people killed. The study really pinpoints this period and shows a 40% underreporting. It's a big assumption to assume that after June, what happened? We could assume it is still 40%, and that means there is around 77,000 killed. However, this is an assumption. It might be that it might be higher or lower. This period was not covered by the study. The mortality rates are quite high. This has been talked about by the UN, by different reportings from different agencies, and what we wanted to point out that it's not only what the ministry is saying, it's even higher. And what we focus on in the study was just the traumatic death, but it's also possible to have non-traumatic related death that we've heard a lot about. And this might also increase the mortality estimates that we're presenting. We relied on a method called capture-recapture that ecologists, epidemiologists, and different scientists have used to estimate population sizes. And it has previously also been used in mortality estimation in Kosovo, in Colombia, in Guatemala, in Sudan, for estimating mortality during wars. And it relies on different lists of mortality. So you might be aware of the mortality lists of names of people killed reported by hospitals. You have this listing. You also have another listing of mortality from people reporting by a survey. So I open a survey and I report that my brother, my husband, was killed during this war. And finally, we rely on a third list that's social media obituaries. So people on Instagram, on X, on Facebook report that their relatives were killed with a picture and name. We use all of these lists of data, we clean them, and we look at the overlap to understand how many individuals actually appear on multiple lists. And based on the overlap, we can understand the total population that was killed, so those that are unnamed, to understand how many people were under the rubble and so on.